If you have old or expired makeup and you don't necessarily want to throw it in the trash, there are certain things that you can do with it. Some of the chemicals found in makeup are not only harmful to the environment, but the plastic packaging can create a real environmental hazard. So if you're trying to find some clever reuses, here are some tips. First, it's important to know when makeup expires. It's not healthy to continue wearing expired makeup. It could be bad for your skin, it could clog your pores, and it's also just less effective. So make sure you know the expiration dates. A lot of it is like 3 to 6 months. Powders tend to last a little bit longer. Some products last up to a year. But regularly cleaning and maintaining and taking proper care of your makeup can help extend the life of it. If you're looking to cut down on your waste from unused makeup and plastic packaging that comes with unused makeup, the first thing you can do is take better care of the makeup that you currently have. So I decided to dump mine out and go through it, and I removed all the brushes because those need to be cleaned. And then I went through and I also removed the bag because it also needs to be cleaned. And I took away anything that was damaged or expired or just not in good shape at all, and took it out of my regular makeup routine. After that, I thoroughly washed my brushes and also the makeup bag using a little bit of dish soap. I carefully washed these brushes because they were actually in pretty good shape and I want to keep them that way. And of the makeup items I decided to keep, I went through and thoroughly cleaned each one with a rag and some warm water. And to sterilize it, I used a little spritz of rubbing alcohol. Now, I am not a makeup expert. This is just what I read that I should do, that rubbing alcohol sanitizes it and gets rid of any bacteria, because if you use your fingers, like I tend to do, like when putting on eyeshadow, you can get bacteria in your makeup and it can stay there. So it needs to be regularly cleaned and sanitized, and it's better to use brushes. It extends the life of the makeup, and it's also just more sanitary to do it that way. So I pretty much sanitized each piece with rubbing alcohol. And again, I'm not a makeup expert, so if there's a better way to clean and maintain makeup, I would love to hear it. And of all the makeup I got rid of, this is what's left. So now I have a big pile of unusable makeup, and this is what you can do with it. So eyeshadows and powders actually make for really great art. You can use them much in the same way that you can use charcoal. You can just smudge it onto the paper. You will get your fingers pretty dirty in the process, but it can be removed with just warm water and soap, or makeup removal pads, or whatever you want to use. So this was just very simple, basic artwork that I made using tape, because I wanted to tape off sections of the paper to keep some blank space here. But you can also do like charcoal portraits, which is something that I want to attempt. So after laying these down and then removing the tape, I had this cute little pattern, and I also added some lipstick to it, and I think it looks kind of cute. I think this was a fun first attempt, and good for practice. So eyeshadow works a lot like charcoal, and it's very versatile. Another thing you can do with eyeshadow and powders is to melt a little bit of paraffin wax and then mix it in a silicone container so that you get crayons. The first time I attempted it, I poured the wax directly on top of the eyeshadow and it made a huge mess. It did not work out. And then I learned you have to mix it with the melted wax and then pour it into the mold, and that worked much better. Now, I haven't gotten the consistency just right, and the pieces break really easily, so this is something that I'm still experimenting with. But if you're wanting something a little more controllable that you can paint and color with, try using the paraffin wax. Once I figure out how to get the ratio correct and make it a little bit more stable and usable, I'll create a tutorial for it. Liquid makeup is fun to work with because it's good for painting, especially nail polish, and lipstick is actually really fun to smear on the paper. You're just going to need some kind of a drying agent like Mod Podge or some kind of sealant. I also tried mixing some foundation with different eyeshadow shades to get kind of a paint consistency, which sort of worked, but nail polish is by far the easiest to paint with. Now, the hardest one to work with is mascara because I just haven't really come up with anything that creative. I guess you could make something kind of abstract, but I tried experimenting a little bit with just some fun shapes that would also need to be sprayed with some kind of a sealant. So I'm going to keep experimenting with this one to see what I can come up with. Now it takes patience and a lot of experimenting, but I came up with a couple of pieces that I thought turned out pretty nicely. These here were done mostly with eyeshadow, and my elephant is eyeshadow and lipstick and nail polish. So there's a lot you can do with expired makeup if you're trying to keep your old makeup out of the landfill. Now I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the plastic packaging, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. But there are also other great creators on YouTube who have been using makeup for art, which I'll include their links in the description. So if you have any suggestions of your own, please feel free to share them in the comments section, and thank you so much for watching.